All right, we are 2 minutes past and we'll begin our webinar. First of all, thank you very much for spending your valuable time with us. We are really excited to host this webinar. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're joining from. Today's webinar is going to be a quick 30-minute, very short webinar where we'll take you through how industrial machinery manufacturers can manage their install-based lifecycle and total cost of ownership throughout the lifetime of that equipment. So you'll have me, two of us presenting today. My name is Achint Varia. I'm based in the UK and responsible for sales and marketing at Industriality. And I have Jinesh, our CEO and technology expert, who will be walking us through our latest app that we are launching. Before I go through the presentation, let me just show you, what we do and what we are focused on. So we are very much focused on industrial machinery manufacturers, enabling them to increase their install base and increase their after sales revenue. We have a series of 27 plus apps, a number of assets connected, and we have been around for about more than 5 years with our customers in boiler industry, compressor industry, HVAC industry, construction industry, and so on and so forth. So our latest app, which is asset lifecycle management, very much fits into this after sales because it actually brings everything together. And so we'll see a glimpse of that. But before we begin, let's do a quick survey. So profit that comes from machine sales is typically, let's say, between 10 and 15%. The after sales lifetime revenue, so the life revenue that typically these machines, they last for between 15 and 50 years, and the after sales revenue from consumables, from spares, from upgrades, retrofits, all of that is typically 30 to 35%. And the potential that you can get from that is massive. But often what we notice is after 3 years after the warranty period, often the business is lost to counterfeit parts and competitor parts, and a lot of that is missed. And a big reason for that is because either manufacturers are not connected with their customers, or they are not able to build that loyalty loop. So let me ask a question and have this number in mind. How much of the business, how much of the after sales business are you able to capture from your install base? So I'll give it a pause, and then I'll show you what the industry trends are. So McKinsey suggests that the lowest performers are in the 20% range. So 20% of their install base are buying aftermarket services and parts from the manufacturer. And the best performing, I would put the likes of Rolls-Royce, Caterpillar in the range of the best performing, where they have 70, 80, 90% of the aftermarket capture. And so I would reflect on the number that you had in mind. Where do you see yourself there? And in our opinion, the best people, the best customers are the ones who are most digital. They are more data driven, and they put their investments based on the data that is showing them. So with that as a focus, we'll take an example of an industrial chiller. Let's assume this chiller is in a university, or a beautiful hotel, right? Ritz Carlton here in London. They've got this chiller, and what do the customers care about? The customers, through the lifetime of that equipment, of this equipment, in the next 15 years, they care about cooling. They care about the outcome that they want to deliver to their customers, to the people staying in that hotel. Just imagine if that chiller goes down, you'll have reputational risk. People will not be happy. They'll be posting things on social media about the quality of the hotel. So their core outcome that they want to drive from your equipment is uptime and outcome, which is cooling their rooms. The second thing that they want from the chiller is energy efficiency, right? They want to monitor throughout that lifetime of that equipment, what is the energy consumption that I'm doing, because energy is typically the biggest portion of the cost of ownership. As you monitor the total cost of ownership, which would include the capital equipment, it would include the servicing, the consumables, the repairs, but the majority chunk of it is energy cost. And so am I, are there any leaks? Are there any, inefficient machines? And is there a potential to improve? And then finally, they want peace of mind. They don't want to worry about when the maintenance should be done, when the repair should be done. They want to be told that the equipment will be up, it will be maintained, and it will be healthy. So that is what customers care about. What do manufacturers want? They want more service to be done to these equipment so that they can have a bigger share of wallet from their customers. They want visibility of their install base of the equipment that is in the field so that they can deploy their service technicians to be more efficient. They can run their service more with more optimization. But ultimately they want to create this loyalty by creating a transparency of knowing exactly where the equipment is and delivering that uptime. And so that are those are the 3P values of the aftermarket lifecycle management, where for the manufacturer, it's about predictability of their cost, service cost, inventory cost, and opportunities, where to find the opportunities for retrofits, upgrades, service, and parts. It's about maximizing profit from their customers. Whereas for the customers, it's about preventing downtime, it's about preventing inefficiencies, and as a result, again, increasing their outcome, which is their profit to their customers, keeping the rooms cool. And ultimately, by doing this together, it's about delivering long-term customer loyalty. So these are the 3P values of the Lifecycle app. And today I'll have Jinesh, who will walk us through the Lifecycle app, which will show you how can you manage your install base, how can you predict opportunities, and how do you maximize the profitability through your install base. So with that, I would like to invite Jinesh.
Aftermarket is a gold mine. And in order to really realize it and how we can manage this, let's go through the actual demo. In this demo, we are going to share three aspects. One, how you can create as a manufacturer visibility of your entire installed base, whether you have plants, whether you have boiler rooms, whether you have chiller on the rooftops. You as a manufacturer would like to see your entire installed base in very easy categorized fashion. So how you digitize your entire installed base. Second, how will every asset now you will be able how you can manage the total cost of ownership and life cycle cost so that you can provide that to your customers, owner operators. But most importantly, what's the benefit of providing the TCO to your customers so that they can provide you not only data but the visibility, and you create that customer loyalty. And thirdly, how aftermarket opportunities can be leveraged throughout the asset life cycle, throughout the asset lifespan. There are various different touch points where our application will actually help you drive that touch points and understand which ones will it work. So before I jump into my demo, I want to share a basic canonical version of what Achint mentioned. Let's assume that industrial chiller manufacturer he has around that manufacturer has around 60,000 boilers, sorry, chillers, as the current installed base. Each chiller that they have sold, they sell, let's say, 5,000 chillers every year. Each chiller is going through a specific phase in their life cycle, as well as each chiller is at a specific stage on that life cycle. So the blocks that you're seeing are the phases. And the line that you're seeing are the different stages in which your particular chiller will be. At any given point of time, there will be several different, chillers in different stages and phases of your installed base itself. And as a manufacturer, you know, you would like to see, or you would like to see who your customers are, which machines have they purchased, where are they located, how they are being utilized, when was the last inspection done, and all these business level questions that will help you make that sale ultimately for that customer, right? And stay connected with that customer throughout that whole asset lifespan. So with that, as we mentioned, there are Industriality offers aftermarket, digital aftermarket solution, and each of these, we offer a platform for machine manufacturers that can be completely white labeled to their need, and they can expose this to their customers, their representatives, their distributors, and so forth. So we have tons of different applications. We are going to go right into the Lifecycle app, so you will be able to see the information in single view, right? So this is not just a regular dashboard, and I'll tell you why. Here it gives you an information about your entire installed base. There are custom every this industrial chiller manufacturer that we took as an example. They will have multiple different model families. They will have variety of different business models. Some might be some in some specific geography, they might be selling only products, only chillers. Some they might be selling products and service. Some they might be leasing, and some they might be offering cooling as a service as well, which we enable. So depending on your business model, we will select your installed base. And as you can see here, now, based on that filter, every stage and every phase of that particular chiller will be available for you to see, and we have correlated all the data across different data points to provide you a level of visibility that says, okay, how many chillers are there right now in the installation and commissioning stage? How many are now due for modernization and they need to be modernized, right? How many are also going to be disposed or sort of in their end of life cycle as well? And most importantly, the majority of the chillers in the installed phase will be in the maintenance phase or the operations phase, where you need to track all the information in one single place for entire asset. So this is a view for manufacturers that can give them a complete visibility of where their asset life cycle, where their install base life cycle is, and when do they focus on that level of information in there, right? Like what is the right time of that information and so forth. So this gives enormous power to the executives, the service technicians, as well as the internal service leaders to digitize their install base as well as visualize their entire install base information for every stage of the boiler, of the chiller, right? The second part of the demo is really once you have mapped your entire install base, portfolio and how many assets are there, it is very important to see the total cost of ownership, right? Total cost of ownership is a comprehensive cost which not only includes the acquisition cost but also the overall maintenance, operations, energy utilization, fuel, that your customer is currently using for your asset which is on the field, and you want to show them the entire cost of ownership, right? Not only because you know it is important for them to monetize their assets in the right way, but most importantly, what is the benefit to the equipment owners, your customers, to see that data? This will enable them to optimize their energy costs, because energy is one of the most important, I would say, one of the most highest contributor to the TCO of the cost, right? Sometimes the TCO might be very high because of the maintenance and the energy cost, operations cost, and energy cost. And sometimes it might not be because you have a very good asset that is out there in the field, and you would like them to show that your initial purchase cost is much higher. However, the energy utilization or the it's more efficient, right? Or the customer would like to also see where and how I can make a right data driven purchase decisions for my next efficient chiller that I want to buy, right? Which chillers out of the three chillers that are out there in that Ritz-Carlton hotel, are performing well, and how and what is the next maintenance cycle that they will have to, invest in. Out of the entire fleet of their chillers, how we each how can I take that cost of ownership and manage that to extend the life of that asset as well? So let's see how we can go into each of these chillers, and you will be able to see a particular chiller in action, right? So we manage the operational digital twin of their entire asset. This includes parts, BOM, spare parts, documentation, variety of different maintenance information, manuals, all the data in there. And and when you click on a particular asset, let's say this chiller right now, you will be able to see their total cost of ownership as well as the life cycle cost of ownership. You will be able to determine, as Achin mentioned earlier, what is the expected lifetime or lifetime value for each of these that you are expecting as part of the opportunity. Typically, there is a $2,000 parts um, opportunity per year for a particular chiller that is approximately $100,000 chiller. For every year you have an opportunity to make genuine parts, sell to that particular customer, and in addition to the parts you have an opportunity to do service and service contracts. So how can you track each one of them and offer them that level of visibility that is required? And last but not the least, you would like to see what are the capital expenditure and what is the operating expenditure. Obviously, operating expenditure will be much more higher, and sometimes the capital expenditure, and we want to see the split across both as well. So what we do is we take each and every stage and the phase that we talked about earlier. We map costs associated with each one of them. These data comes, and I'll show how we kind of do that as well in a minute. But we track every life cycle event that is happening, and this enables the customer to make a data driven decision for every phase in every stage in which the chiller is, right? So this provides a dynamic view to your customers as an element, and where they will be incentivized to also provide you the data so that you build your customer trust, and then as well as build your customer loyalty because you're providing them value, just like you're giving data to Google about your location so that you can get traffic related information and go from point A to point B and know exactly what time is. Now you're offering this value to your customers, and they will give you data about your energy costs and others and give a complete view of your asset, right? This is very important for customers who have $100,000 or over chillers in a market in a way. So that provides a view of total cost of ownership and the life cycle cost of ownership as well. The last but not the least is you as the manufacturer would like to create every asset a sales lead. And not only that every asset can become sales lead, but you want a recurring touch point that can happen throughout the life cycle of that asset. So if the chiller lifetime is around 30 to 40 years, from that initial sale to the end of life, we have carefully mapped, when is the right time to make that to touch that customer, right? What is the right level when the standard warranty actually expires? And then what do you do for the first inspection? When do you can connect with them to pitch them about the overall service contract, exactly when the last inspection was due for it? When do you actually upgrade or provide a modernization strategy to their customer as well? So we track the age of that particular chiller with the life cycle, and what is the current age that was expected, what is the current time, and then what is the normal life expectancy, this is the age, and how much can it be currently extended as well. So that's where we give our customers an ability to manufacturers here an ability to create an entire install base, but also provide that whole different levels of lifetime opportunities for every asset in the game. So how do we do this? One of the basic questions that people and customers have today is, what is our secret sauce and how do we make this really possible? And this is where we do come in with the concept of life cycle events. So we know that your data is in different places and different solutions and systems out there, from ERPs to FSM, and even customers have certain things. Half of the world works in Excel today, but so we have built a generative AI powered by LLMs that takes and ingests this data, whether it's an OCR document that we have to scan, whether it's invoices that we need to scan, whether we need to take a parts catalog that we need to scan. We scan all of these, and through our generative AI extraction engine, which is tailored for the industrial use cases, which extracts the right level of information and provides the lifecycle events to our digital twin, the operational version of the digital twin. So lifecycle event, think about it as like the Facebook. When you log into Facebook and upload a particular photo when you have a baby, or when you are going on a vacation, or when you are want to share something with the outside world. That is an event. That's a life event that has happened. We are doing exactly the same thing for the assets, right? And we take that data from your existing data streams and map that to the serial number of that particular asset through our engine itself. Once we generate the life cycle events and focus on the operational and feed or hydrate the digital twin, you can we offer that the customers to have a customer facing after, which I showed you, which is all hosted in the cloud. And and each of your stakeholders, whether it's the manufacturer, or whether it's the service technician, or whether it's the owner operator, get the right level of access to the digital twin so that they can make the right decisions, right? As Ajit mentioned, aftermarket potential of the manufacturer, how much can you make throughout the life cycle of your entire installed base? How much the service technicians can need to see when they are to do a complete life cycle modernization event, or where the energy costs are in an entire asset, all curated together, available in a nice, easy to use dashboard, and offers and then which is continuously updated, which gives the customer the ability to close that particular sale throughout that life cycle. So with this, what I showed you is that you can manage not only your entire installed base, see where they are, what are they doing, but at the same time, your customers can see your total cost of ownership, and you have the opportunity to provide them, the life aftermarket, touch point that will increase your aftermarket lifetime revenue as well as the customer loyalty. Over to you, Ajit.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Dinesh. That was a great demo and a great summary of how it can be done. It was really, really good. And I love that. I love the Facebook timeline for machinery. I think this is great. Social media for machines. I think that is fantastic. Um, a couple of things that I saw was great, right? One is predictability of business. If you make it data driven, you make it predictable, you can make it profitable for both, and you are preventing downtime, which is actually the most important thing for the customer, and increasing the lifespan. By increasing the lifespan, you're actually reducing your total cost of ownership. So I think it's creating that win-win, and it's about creating visibility. I think that is the key. So that was great. Thank you so much for that demo. We keep it very simple. So I think in order to deliver something like this, essentially it requires data. We need to understand your business, and at the end of a 2 month cycle, we'll be able to unlock your aftermarket tap, which means more profit and more revenue. So if this is of interest, please feel free to get in touch with us. Jinesh, if you can go to the next slide. If any one of you has any questions, you have the Q&A box. Please let us know your questions, and we are more than happy to answer them. While you are doing that, just a plugin. If I don't do that, my marketing person would definitely give me a slap at my back of my hand. We have a webinar that's coming up, which is in alliance with a few other partners. It's on the product as a service, servitization. Really, really interesting. So do check that out. Do follow us on LinkedIn to get our latest updates, and also do register on our website for our newsletters and future events. More than happy to get in touch from there. Any other questions? Please keeping an eye on the Q&A box. If you have any questions, please do type in. Otherwise, everyone would get a recording of this webinar. So feel free, if you missed part of it, don't worry about it. We'll get you the recording, and do pass it on to your other colleagues if you found that interesting. I'll give it one more minute. Yes, I have a question here. Jinesh, maybe you can answer that. Do you have a 3D viewer integrated into your platform? So, what I would, I'm assuming it's probably a 3D viewer for a plant or an asset or parts. Do we have a 3D viewer for integrated in our platform?
Yeah, yes, great question. So what we do is we take your existing, 3D schematics that you have. You might have it in any different format, from SolidWorks to PT Creo to AutoCAD to any of the other element. We optimize that data. We for and make it available for web and mobile. We do a lot of engineering behind the scenes to extract data of it, and then we connect that to the parts BOM list, which will give a complete element of, easy to use, easy to identify the right part that is needed. So we have a fully fledged optimized version which connects to the digital twin of that asset and the BOM parts, and you can import any type of format of the data. We do, and it's available for every mobile screen as well, optimized for your business needs. So if you have a custom step file or an ISO file, or a DWG file, we'll import it and we'll do a lot of engineering behind it to provide you ability to view that, and your customers can actually view that and order parts in 3 clicks.
And that really helps through the life cycle. As things change, these things can be updated, and as we call it, operational digital twin can be active throughout the life cycle of that of that equipment. So that's great. I don't see any other questions. We are at the top of the hour, and so we'll close it then. Thank you very much for spending your valuable time with us. We really appreciate it and look forward to speaking with you soon. Thank you all. Have a great evening.
Thank you very much.
Bye.